Hey everyone. So I just finished doing a free coaching Friday live and I was using Zoom and streaming into our Facebook group. And for some reason, because I was jumping around from recording my screen to recording myself to recording another tab or window, it was going crazy. So it was really not viewable and useful for you. And I will never leave content up that is not useful. So I'm going to record this session. And what I want to talk about in this session is giving an answer to a question that I got about how do I free up class time. The teacher was explaining how she feels really stressed every day to make sure she gets through her lessons, to keep up with the pacing guide and just make sure students are getting the content that they need without getting interrupted, without having peers just talking to them and always dealing with behavioral issues. And she really felt like the effectiveness of her teaching was not getting through during her class lectures or classroom lessons. So this is my answer, and it's inspired by a book that I'm almost done reading. I have like 20 pages left. I've been reading it like crazy. It's called Flipped 2.0, Practical Strategies for Flipping Your Class. Now, a flipped class model is nothing new. It became really popular about 2010 to 2012. And I started my teaching career. I grew up in the Bay Area and started my teaching career in Sacramento, California. And so technology and education was nothing new. So I dove into how could I turn my classroom into a flipped classroom because of the benefits of it. So first of all, let me explain. If you are new to a flipped classroom model, it's essentially when you're taking a traditional classroom and what you do in your classroom time usually is deliver a lesson, give a presentation, giving some direct instruction, and you are going to give that to students to do during homework or at home. Okay. And then what students would usually do at home for homework when they are applying the concepts, when they are analyzing some concepts, when they are evaluating something, providing example, discussing the concept, they're asked to usually do that at home by themselves, the hard part. And so a flipped class model means they get to do that part in class with you supporting them, with their peers around them to bounce ideas off of and support them. So they do the easier part, which is to watch you explain something and retain that, usually asking them to do some kind of check for understanding, usually in the lower two columns of Bloom's taxonomy, right? Recall something or explain something, describe something in the lower cognitive levels. They're doing that at home as their homework. And then in class, they're asked to do the harder things when it comes to learning with you there and their peers there, right? So that's the flipped class model. Now, in order to make this happen, technology is almost necessary. It's really highly recommended, right? It's the easiest way to make this happen. When I discovered it 10 years ago, one-to-one devices was a brand new initiative. And making sure every student had Wi-Fi at home was also pretty brand new. So I could never figure out a way to do this in my class. Now, that is so much more accessible. It's so much more doable now. So there are ways to have this done in your class very simply, okay? Like anything when it comes to educational strategies, there's like a really easy, simple way to do something, and then it can go all the way up to something very complex, like a mastery level, self-paced, flipped classroom, right? That can be really complex. I want to show you how to start flipped 101. When you are just taking your direct instruction lesson, you're going to record it, you're going to post it for students, and students are going to be doing the homework in class with you when they have someone, an expert to ask help for, right? To help them with the homework piece, the application piece, okay? All right, so this is going to free up an incredible amount of your classroom, and you're also going to be able to make sure students are getting that lesson without interruptions. They also can pause that lesson. They can rewind that lesson. They can rewatch that lesson, okay? So one other piece of this puzzle is we're going to set up this flipped lesson in Canvas right now in this session using a strategy called WHISK. And it's termed that by a teacher who was very big in the flipped community. Her name is Crystal Kirch, I think is how you pronounce it, Kirch. And so she termed it WHISK. Now it's just WSQ, which stands for watch, summarize, and then question. You can use this with every single flipped lesson that you create. Okay. All right. So I have created 3 main steps to make this happen in your class. Very simply. The very first step is just to set up the Canvas assignment where students are going to watch the video and submit their summary and their question. Step 2 is how you're going to record this video. Okay. What's a special tool or a favorite tool that I like to use to make this very simple? Step 3 is how do I get that video into my Canvas class? Okay. So if you don't already have Canvas Studio, which is a media server built into Canvas, or maybe you're not using Kaltura or Panopto, those are other media servers that are really popular in education. Screencast-o-Matic is also very popular in education, and that is a tool that I recommend for beginners who are new to recording lessons. Okay, so let me walk through those 3 main steps right now so you can see how simple this can be set up in your class and free up an incredible amount of time and pressure from your day-to-day classroom life. All right, so I'm going to share my screen here. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to set up the Canvas assignment. Very simply, I'm going to go to a module here. I'm going to select the plus button in the module. I'm going to make sure that the menu is selected on assignment, click create assignment, and then I'm going to pretend this is part of Unit 1, Week 2, and this happens to be, you can see I've already demonstrated this once, flipped lesson number 2. Okay, I'm going to add the assignment. It's going to always drop to the very bottom of our module. I'm going to select the name of the assignment and go into edit mode. Okay, again, simple is the name of the game. So I'm going to give students 3 instructions here. Now, if you have already accessed my lesson template, I will leave it linked below the video, but I'm not going to put all those pieces in here because I want to keep it as simple as possible. So students, step 1, they're going to watch the video. Right? And I'll show you how to put that video into the Canvas class. Step 2, they're going to summarize the video and submitting the assignment. And then step 3, they're going to leave a question. Now, this can be a question that they have after they watch the video. It also could be a question someone else might have. Or it can be a possible test question that they could think could come from this lesson. All right, so those are my instructions. I left a little space here because that's where we're going to put the video. That's how simple it can be. Again, I will leave my assignment format formula linked below. It's a free guide to show you kind of the main pieces that should be in an online assignment so students know what they're doing and why they're doing it and how to do it. Okay. All right, so below here, the only thing I really need to change is what students are going to submit to me. So in the submission type, I'm going to use the drop-down menu and select online. And then I'm just going to click the text entry. It's just going to give them a text box for them to reply with a summary and a question and submit their assignment. So I'm going to leave this open so that's ready for the video. So the next step is going to be to record our video. So I'm going to show you the Screencast-o-Matic tool, how simple it is. So first I'm going to try to do this so you can see everything that I see on the screen. So I'm going to change what I'm sharing. So you can see the Screencast-o-Matic. I'm going to use my whole desktop here. Hopefully it doesn't go crazy like it did in the Facebook Live version. Okay, so you should be able to see my recording elements of Screencast-o-Matic. I'm just going to hit this big red record button. Okay, and here I am giving a direct instruction. All I'm going to do is click record. Okay, so I'm going to start my direct instruction. You can always do a screencast or a voiceover. Maybe you have a presentation, maybe you have examples to show. So you're going to give your direct instruction. First, of course, you're going to tell them what they're going to learn in this lesson. Then you're going to tell them the lesson. And then you're going to finish it off by saying, hey, you're going to summarize this video and provide any questions or you possible test questions that could come out of this video. Okay, I'm going to hit pause and I'm going to hit done. Okay, I can go to a quick share, which can just directly put the video onto Screencast-o-Matic account. which is really nice. I can go into edit video just so you can see what that looks like. It's going to pull up the editor. Now, let me explain something about Screencast-o-Matic. There is a free teacher version that will give you some space to record your video and editing tools, no problem. However, I do pay for the one level up. I think it's called a pro level. It's $19 a year. Gives you a ton of storage for you to upload your video so that you don't have to upload it to YouTube. You can if you want still, but it gives you some storage there. The reason why you don't want to add this video to your computer and then upload it to Canvas is because that's going to take up a good amount of storage in your Canvas class. And most Canvas courses do not have a ton of storage in them. Okay, so you want to upload your video to a media server such as YouTube or Screencast-o-Matic, Kaltura, Panopto, Studio, any of those, and then you're just going to link it into your Canvas class. I will show you that part right now. So in here in Screencast-o-Matic, you can use any tools to do some fun editing. Usually I just cut out all of my ums and so I just cut this out, but you could also add like videos and highlight portions. Very fun. I will definitely do a video on how much I love Screencast-o-Matic so you know all the fun tools and how to use them. Something else I recommend is just to click this captions. Captions can be provided automatically in Screencast-o-Matic. It will do a speech to text comparison. It will do its very best to give great captions. So that's one click away. Why not do it, right? Especially if you have a kind of a vocabulary heavy subject where students need to see that word. Okay. All right. So the last piece of the puzzle is just hit done. Okay. And we're going to be asked, where do we want to put this video? So you can add it again to your computer as a file. I don't suggest that in order to get it in Canvas. I do suggest adding it to your Screencast-o-Matic account. Even if you have a free one, you'll have some storage there, no problem. Or put it on YouTube, right? You need to put it in some kind of cloud media server so that you can pull it into Canvas. So I'm just going to click add to Screencast-o-Matic. I'm going to call this one my practice, and I'm going to hit publish. Okay, that's it. It's going to be added to my Screencast-o-Matic account. And from there, I'm going to add it to my Canvas class. So right now we've already finished 2 of the 3 steps in creating a flipped lesson, right? You already have these lessons planned out. Maybe you've already done them for a couple of years. You know these lessons. How much easier would it be to give these lessons to your students without interruptions, right? And being able to edit it. So you can condense it down to just the really, really good stuff. So students can watch and rewatch if necessary. It's uploaded to my Screencast-o-Matic account. So I'm going to exit out of here. Do you want to keep this on my computer? No, I do not. Okay, so I'm going to go to my Screencast-o-Matic account. I'm going to refresh it so that it pulls in the new upload. It's going to show me what it's newly uploaded. I already have this account open and ready. Okay, and here is my practice. You can see I've already done a test one before. Here is my practice, and all I'm going to do is I'm going to click the name of the video, so we can see the details over on the right-hand side. The details is where we're going to grab our link. We can also embed the video. I'm going to talk about the 2 differences right now. So over on the right-hand side, there is a share button. Click the share button. Yes, I want to go to the share. There are 2 options to get this video into your Canvas course. The first way is just to copy this link right here and paste the link for students to click on. They're going to come to a viewing page from Screencast-o-Matic. What I suggest is that you embed the video onto the Canvas assignment. That way students can watch the video without ever leaving Canvas. It's always a really good thing to try to keep students in their educational platform in order to not get distracted, right? So in order to embed the video, super simple. I'm going to scroll down to where it says video embed. The only thing I'm going to change is click the drop-down menu for size, and I'm going to click tiny. It's not going to be tiny. It's actually the perfect size for a Canvas page. Okay. So once it's set to tiny, I know the dimensions are set for me now. Here's our embed code. You don't have to do anything to the embed code. All you're going to do is click copy the code. It's a copy paste situation. So copy the code. I'm going to go back to my Canvas assignment. This is where I want the video to go. In order to give me kind of an identifier of where this video is going to go, I'm going to just do an XXX. You'll see exactly why in a moment. So XXX, that's where I want my video to go. In the bottom right corner, again, this is in edit mode, obviously. Bottom right corner, you're going to find the HTML editor. It looks like a kind of carrots there with a slash in between. I'm going to select that button. Then I'm going to come to, this is the HTML code. You can see my XXX. I'm going to highlight that and delete it. Now I'm just going to paste in that code. So you can right click on your mouse, making sure the cursor is in the right spot. Right click on the mouse and select paste. You can also do an easy Control V right there and it will paste the code. That's it. Don't touch anything else in the code. Go back to your rich text editor by selecting that same HTML code. It's going to flip it back to the HTML editor. Back to the rich text editor from HTML. And here's the video. So students, number one, watch the video. Okay. Number two, summarize the video when they submit the assignment. That's the button they hit, right? To open up that text box. So then they have somewhere to type. They're also going to leave a question. So a question that they have, or a question someone else might have, or a possible test question they could see that comes from this video. That's it, ladies and gentlemen. All we're going to do is we're going to hit save. And we now have a flipped class lesson. Can you imagine how much pressure would be off your shoulders if you know students had the lesson to watch in their own time, to comprehend, to rewatch, to watch back later if they've forgotten something or can't remember how to do something? Okay, this is going to open up a ton of space and relieve some stress during your class time. You are going to find students do their homework at a lot higher rate because they are not asked to do the hard part at home by themselves, right? They're going to all come to class. I'm going to say most of your students are going to come to class with the same foundation that everyone else got. This can just really open up a world for you, especially now that most students have one-to-one devices and Wi-Fi at home. This is a true possibility. Okay, so I hope this helps you in just kind of dabbling in what a flipped lesson can look like. This answered our question of the day, which is how to free up some class time. And it also wanted to show you how easy this could be. Okay, if you are interested in this, this is my challenge for you. Think about an upcoming unit and maybe think about one lesson per week that you could do in this fashion, where you could record a direct instruction lesson. That is the homework. Then the homework that you already had planned, students just do that in class. That is flipped 101. Okay, that is the basic level of it. That's where everyone needs to start. All right. So this is the end of Free Coaching Friday. If you have any questions, I would love to dive into the comments with you, how this could work for your class, any concerns or issues you're thinking about trying this out and coming up so we can brainstorm together and support each other. Again, educators leveraging Canvas is all about how to make your life easier. I made a post recently that my goal, my mission is how to make your life, your teaching life easier while still remaining the same impact that you have every day. Okay. All right. So have a great weekend and I will speak with you soon.